Hello and welcome to the channel. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has revealed that the student loan is to begin in earnest with September and October the targets. The president signed the bill into law on Monday, June 12, and has assured that access to these loans will commence in 3 months. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Student loan begins September and October. Tinubu. The federal government Wednesday said it had begun putting all necessary measures in place to ensure student loan begin between September and October 2023. The Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Education, Andrew David Adejo, who revealed this while speaking to newsmen in Abuja, said already President Bola Tinubu has approved a committee made up of ministries and agencies to see to the realization of the student loan bill he recently assented to. Recall that Tinubu had last week signed into law the student loan bill in fulfillment of a promise he made during his campaign. The student loan bill, sponsored by the Speaker of the Ninth House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, provides for interest-free loans to indigent Nigerian students. The law is to provide easy access to higher education for indigent Nigerians through interest-free loans from the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, the Permanent Secretary said. Adejo said the bill is to make sure that every Nigerian has access to higher education through what we call the Higher Education Nigerian Bank. Learning from past mistakes, the bank is not going to be the type that will sit down and be collecting application loans. It will also perform normal banking functions and make sure loans are given because we had cases of loan recovery in the past. The act as it is tells us the process, but as I speak with you today, the President has approved the committee made up of the ministries and agencies, and the meeting will be coming up on 20th of June. The President has also directed that by September to October of the 2023-2024 academic session, he wants to see recipients of these loans. So between now and then, we have to phantom the process for people to get the loan, he added. The Permanent Secretary further said the government will create a specialized bank for the operation of the loans, noting that there will be a tracking system for the efficient running of the loan scheme. He also said it will cover both students in private and public schools, adding that the government will create a new bank for it. We are not going to use existing banks. We are going to create a new bank that will address this because we can't use an existing bank. We don't want to make it that only people who want to go to public schools will benefit from. Private schools are paying tuition, so you have to give them the opportunity. The loan is for you to get an education program and get employed, then you start paying back. The loan recovery does not start until you get employed. While commending President Tinubu as a job creator, he said, "Our current president today is a job creator from his experience from the private sector, and he has given us policy direction on job creation is one of the things he is going to do, even though you cannot create a job for everybody." According to him, as of June 12, only 3 people have seen the act, which is the president, the current chief of staff, and himself. What you have seen is the bill. The president has assented to the bill. Let us wait to see the act, and you get the act when it is transmitted to the Ministry of Justice to produce a gazette, he said. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. Meanwhile, a day after signing into law a bill providing interest-free loans to Nigerians willing to acquire tertiary education but unable to afford fees, President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday met with the leadership of various Nigerian student bodies. In a tweet via the president's Twitter handle @officialabat, Mr. Tinubu described the meeting with the student leaders as invigorating, noting that they welcomed the new law and that his administration's proactive approach to the fuel subsidy issue was also welcome. Mr. Tinubu assented to the Access to Higher Education Act 2023, providing legal backing for the Education Loan Fund, which would provide students with loans to pay tuition in public tertiary institutions. The bill has previously met stiff opposition from student bodies such as the National Association of Nigerian Students and Workers Unions, who described it as an attempt by the government to wash its hands of the funding of the university. Tertiary education in Nigeria is primarily subsidized depending on the government's handout to continue running effectively. For years, the inadequate funding by the government has caused disagreement between workers' unions and the government, resulting in industrial unrest. Stakeholders have cited the industrial crisis across many campuses as reasons for the poor ranking of Nigeria's tertiary institutions globally. On Tuesday, Mr. Tinubu received the representatives of the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, the National Association of University Students, NOS, the National Association of Colleges of Education Students, NASIS, and the National Youth Council of Nigeria, NYCN, at the Presidential Villa. Their support of the Access to Higher Education Act as well as this government's proactive approach to the fuel subsidy issue was most welcome. The president also said his government will prioritize youth empowerment and social justice through meaningful inclusion in governance. He also promised affordable access to quality education and the creation of gainful opportunities across all sectors of the economy. Speaking to State House correspondents after engagements with the president, the NANS delegation led by the body's national president, Umar Barambu, revealed that they urged him to review the constitution of the special committee that will oversee the new Nigerian Education Loan Fund to include student representatives. The NANS president said, "We thank the president for the student loan bill. We have outlined the clauses that we are not too comfortable with. And part of them is the issue of that board that we mentioned to the president, which we said at least student representatives should be captured, and there are some organizations that they put there, which to us, they don't need to be there." We gave him an example, most especially the Nigerian Bar Association, ASU. ASU has its own microfinance bank running its own affairs without students on its board, so I don't think it is wise for us to allow them to be inside our own board because it is purely students. We are the major stakeholders of that bank, so I don't think allowing them to be there is good. Not only them, but we also mentioned a lot of people that they should remove and put more of student-oriented organizations. In response, the president promised to consider the request of the NANS leaders but urged the student body to ensure unity among its members across the country to achieve more. You have to promote unity and stability among each other. You have to employ democratic means in your programs and elections. I have to say, anyone who is unable to accept and celebrate a free and fair election does not deserve the joy of victory, Tinubu said. The president stressed that poverty should not prevent any Nigerian from obtaining quality education at the highest level. He promised that his administration would commit more resources to the education sector to ensure that every Nigerian child, regardless of their background, has access to quality education. That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time, bye.